Well, good morning. It's morning for me here in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm making this as a pre-recorded call, and I'll explain to you why. But welcome to the call, everyone, and thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the team and making this all possible. Today, I really wanted to kind of express a lot of gratitude, and I'm just so grateful to have all of you with me. I'm so grateful to be working with this great company, and we've got so many things going for us right now. And I just don't even know if people um, understand how well everything is. Excuse me, my dog is wanting some attention this morning. We just got up, and but here's what's going on. Every year, I get to go to a couple of different car shows, big car shows, and if any of you are familiar with my Facebook page, you're probably familiar with the fact that I do I do like my cars. I like to restore old cars, and I like to go to car shows and look at what other people have done. I don't bring them, most of my cars back to original. I start with some pretty beat up, rusted pieces of tin, and I build them back into automobiles that are safe to drive up to today's standards, and good cars. So they're kind of like a new car in a old car's clothing, if more to speak. But so anyhow, there's a car show this weekend that I want to go to. It's about a 12-hour drive for me, so I'm going to go stay at a friend's house, and then he and I are going to go down to the car show. So I'm leaving today, and I won't be back until next week. But um, you know, that's the beauty of this industry. That's one of the beauties of what we're doing with network marketing is you get to choose. You get to choose how you do your business, and there's a lot of successful ways to do it. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about at first is that finding your way, finding what works for you. Um, I'm not a type of guy that loves to have people come to my house and have meetings here. I really don't like to go to meetings. Some people love meetings. Some people like to go to house parties and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to go to the big meetings, but just the small ones in the home. And I know that they're essential. I know that they're essential for building your business. And there's certain people that really like those. And now I ran my clinic for 20 some years, and I saw a lot of people, and I relate to that a lot. But what I was going to say is that, I kind of built what I like to do. And I like doing this. I like jumping on conference calls. I feel comfortable. My dad said, "How can you just talk to a blank screen like that?" He says, "How can you get anything out of it?" And I said, "Well, I'm just imagining that as I'm looking at here, as I'm looking at the screen, I'm seeing thousands and thousands and thousands of people that this is reaching, and that's my goal, is that this is going to reach thousands of people." But anyhow, my dad was the one that got me into cars back when I was little. I remember he took an old car. You remember the ones, for those of you that are old enough, you remember the ones that had the big fins, and it was back in the days when jet engines were just being developed. And so they tried to make the cars look like jets with the big sweeping fins in the back, big motors, lots of chrome, and things like that. Anyhow, my dad had built one, and he had taken one of those big, long, finned cars and turned it into a like, for those of you in Australia, he would have turned it into a ute, He turned it into a car, into a pickup, and that was one of my first memories of a hot rod. When I was 8 years old, my dad bought me and my older brother. My brother was a year older than me. Bought us a car for $1, and it ran. We drove it, and at 8 years old, I'm sure that I had to throw something on the seat to see over the dash, but it had push button shifting on it, and it was a lot of fun. Me and my brother had a lot of memories in that, and because of that, he and I got into cars along with my dad, and between my brother, myself, and my dad, and my mom. She's into cars too. But between the four of us, we have over 100 cars. And so we're a car family. Some people are sports nuts. They like to collect, football jerseys and things like that. They like to go to football games and all that. I got into cars, and my dad did, so we start going to these car shows anyhow. So this weekend is a big car show, and I want to go to that. So I'm decided I'm going to do I'm going to do a recording rather than doing a live, and so we'll play it live, although this is a recording. But you might be one of those people that you like to be more social. You like to get around lots of people all the time. Then your situation is that you want to surround yourself with lots of people who like to do the same thing. Surround yourself with people who like to go to presentations and meetings, and that way you can alternate between your homes and your different places of business wherever you want to meet. And what if you do this on let's say you do it on a weekly basis, and I'm going to say that if you're going to do meetings, I think that would be effective, because now what you can do is you can kind of build your own momentum. So this week you gather, you have one or two guests come with you. You have everybody have a goal of bringing two guests, right? And what I used to always tell people is that you want to bring two guests, because just in case one doesn't make it, but you always want to kind of bounce ideas off the other person's back. So that's why I would invite you to come to a meeting with me. Is I would say, hey, Bill, why don't you come to the meeting with me? We're going to talk about some fun stuff. We're going to learn about some science, but we're going to learn how to stay healthy for a longer period of time, and how to lose weight, and all these different things, lower your risk of certain diseases, and I won't list any diseases, but lower the risk, and we'll hear some great stories of how these products work. And I always need somebody to bounce the ideas off what I hear. So I'd like you to come with me just as my guest, not so that you buy anything. In fact, if you come with me, I'll give you a couple free products to try, a couple free samples that you can try. But I really want you to come with me so that I have somebody I can discuss these things with. After the meeting, you and I could be driving, we can be coming home, and we can talk about, because whenever you hear anything new, you want to pass those ideas off to the person you're talking to, and share ideas, and maybe he heard something that you didn't hear, right? And so you discuss these different types of things, and so if you'd go with me, I'd really like to have you be that partner that I can have. That's a great way to get somebody to go with you, and you're taking them off the hook right away. You've said, hey, I'm not going to expect you to buy anything. In fact, I'm going to give you something for free. Just come with me, right? And so if you do that on a weekly basis, okay, so, we have the meeting at my house this week. There's three of us. It starts out with three of us. We each bring a guest. So there's six people. My house is comfortable for six people, right? Um, then the next week, you and your three friends, so one of those three guests turned out to be a good one. He's interested, right? So now there's four of you. So he brings a guest. So now there's eight. Okay. Let's say the same thing happens, and out of the eight, one guest decides that, hey, I'm going to join this thing, right? And they come to the next meeting. And each week, then you're growing by one. You're growing by one. Okay. And you don't know which one. It might be your guest. It might be Bob's guest. It doesn't matter, right? Because in the world of building network marketing businesses, here's the key, right? What if everybody that you know that wants to join wore a red shirt? What if they all had red shirts on? And and everybody else wore whatever color shirt, but the ones that were really interested wore red shirts. Wouldn't it make our life a lot easier? Because you just go talk to the red shirted people. I look at my window, there's people walking by, they got red shirts on. I'd go talk to them. The ones in the green shirts, I might talk to them. I mean, you got to give them a chance to say no, but the ones that had the red shirts, right? They join you. So why not talk to the people that are in that market, right? So that's your warm market, and everybody talks about this warm market and their cold market. Your warm market isn't necessarily your family and friends. Um, you know, none of my family, my parents buy the products from me. They take the products faithfully, but they're not doing the business. My dad's 83, my mom is 82. They aren't looking for another business to run. They just, I mean, they've never had an interest in it, even though they've been involved in network marketing now. They've probably been involved with it with me for 20 years, right? And but they're not doing the business. They never have. Mom referred me a couple people that might want the products and things like that, and that's how it goes. You know, um, not wearing a red shirt, right? And but other people that I know, my friends, they really haven't joined. I've got a couple people that buy products, but they really don't do the business with me, and I've talked to them about it. And it just nothing they were interested in. And but don't get disappointed in it. Hey, you know what? It's not for everybody. And so you just talk to people. It's a numbers game. And what I find is that the people that you know that are in your circle, right? They're more in your extended circle. So you're still in your warm market. It's not really hot market, but it's your warm market. And those people have a better chance of joining you and actually doing something. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why is that people always remember you for who you were back in the day, right? Oh, Kurt, yeah, he used to, race his cars. He used to race hell and cause trouble, and that's who they see me as. Even though now, I'm 59 years old. I turned 59 this month, and that's who they see me as. Well, there's Kurt. Here's the guy that you know back in the day, oh, he had one too many beers. I remember that. And they remember little things about you like that they don't go, oh, there's Kurt. He's the one that's really into the science. He's into the anti-aging. Um, you know, they don't remember that part. And so they don't quite believe you. Their belief level, your credibility is over here versus over here. And the people in your lukewarm market, your credibility is over here because they have no reason to doubt you. They don't have any reason to doubt that what you're telling them isn't 100% true. It might be not true, but it might be true. So your credibility starts off a little bit higher with the people that are in your lukewarm market than the ones that are in your hot market. And so develop those people, and I never throw anybody out. I always have this philosophy. I like to hunt, and so I relate it to that. For those of you that don't hunt, don't worry about it. But when you're hunting, you don't want to shoot at everything that flies. When I'm bird hunting, I don't want to shoot at that one because it's too far away. It's out of my range, and I know it's out of my range, and so I'm not gonna shoot at it and scare it out of the way, because later on during the hunt, it might pop up again. That same bird might be waiting for me up a little bit further. I might get another chance, and maybe it'll be a better shot and whatnot, right? So that's how I run my business as well, and you should too. Is that if you've got somebody who's not wearing a red shirt, they're in your lukewarm market. What you want to do is you want to play on that a little bit. Hey, I got something you might be interested in. And do the takeaway. Do that a couple times. Do the takeaway, and that way you want to you want to pull their wall down, their barrier. People have this barrier. Um, Anytime you say something, what are you going to sell me, right? What are you selling me? Even if they don't know you, what are you selling me? What do you want, or what are you selling me, right? That's what a lot of people are thinking in their head because hey, we're living in that world. And so what you want to do is you want to kind of establish that that feeling of trust that hey, just Kurt, I'm not trying to sell you anything, blah 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 blah. And typically, that's where I'll find most of my people. Now, I have to work them a little bit. I have to draw them in a little bit, draw them in a little bit closer so that they actually take a look at what I'm doing. But that's what I try to do. And I think that works really good for me. And establish what you want to talk about. I like talking about anti-aging, and it's a passion of mine. I like to talk about it because it's a passion of mine. You might like to talk about other things. You might like to talk about heart health, or you might want to talk about something else. But find kind of your niche in the market and work it. Become good at it. I was going to say become the expert, but the thing about it is that if you're an expert at something and you're trying to prospect somebody else, remember when you're talking to them about the business and you're saying this is a business, and they're looking at you and they're going, okay, so I got to do what Kurt's doing. I got to do what Kurt's doing. I got to jump on the internet. I got to make these recordings. I got to do this, that. No, not at all. I've already told you. You got to find your way of doing it. I mean, you can do it through meetings, getting together with people, and having your own little party, kickoff parties, things like that. You can do it this way. You can build a local business. You can build a global business, however you want to do it. Now, some people like to travel and maybe they want to go build businesses in different cities. Well, hey, that's cool too. So you can take and you can go out on the road and you can establish little settlements here and there and meet with your people. And then you can do a mix, right? And once this COVID thing is kind of bogged down a little bit and we can travel freely, because we're still having a lot of trouble here in the United States. Some states are open, some states aren't. You're not supposed to gather, things like that. So, what I'm going to say is that I'm not really doing the travel that I used to do. And so I'm not really doing meetings. So everything that I'm doing is really online. I'm building my business online, and you might feel comfortable doing that too. I like it. I like the online thing. Last year when COVID hit and everybody had to switch to working from home, I'm like, hey, I've already been doing that. I love it. Some people hate it. My brother in Minneapolis, he's gotten so he's used to it. He likes doing from home work. So he has to run to the office one day a week. The rest of the time, the other 5 days a week, he works from home. Nice, right? You get to be with your family. You get to do things. You get to, like I get to go to a car show. I could do this call on the road. I could pull over on Friday night and do this call. That's what I did last time, 2 years ago. They didn't have the car show last year because of COVID. But 2 years ago, I pulled over on the side of the road and I did the call from my pickup because I got Wi-Fi in my pickup. Excuse my dogs over there. It's morning, like I said. They get a little rambunctious, but I decided I wanted to get this done right away while my thoughts were going through my head. I thought about it overnight and figured out what I was going to talk about. But stand up and become a leader. Become the leader in your organization, because if you get up and you start becoming the leader, the other people in your group are going to do the exact same thing. If somebody calls and says, hey, if I called you and said, hey, I got some things going on this weekend, would you take over the call? Would you do the call? Don't be afraid of messing up. I mean, if any of you want to be a substitute for me on this call and do calls from time to time, maybe you want to make recordings with me. It establishes your credibility. If all of a sudden people start seeing videos of you on the screen or you and me on the screen, I'll talk your way through this thing. We'll make it fun. It doesn't have to be scary, anything like that. But it establishes your credibility, it establishes your leadership, and now people will remember you. They'll go, hey, yeah, I watched that video with you on it, right? Perfect. And so it it makes you kind of the excuse me. Sizzle Sport. I drink that in the morning. I drink a big glass of it in the morning. I tend to mix it up full strength. I'll drink about half of it along with a handful of my different Sizzle products. Then what I'll do is I'll fill the glass up again, stir it up again, and I drink another half of it, and then I'll tend to add more water, and I'll keep diluting it out because it gets me to have my water consumption for the morning. But I also find that right away I like that good heavy taste, but then as I get down to the bottom, I like it thinned out and watered down. That's just how I do it. You don't have to do it that way. But, you know, again, getting back to leadership, you have to become the leader, and other people are going to follow you. They're gonna do what you do. If you're telling them, hey, do this, do that, but they've seen you do something else, yeah, not so much. It's not really going to work. And I know people that do that, but they had established their credibility a long time ago, and then now they're just kind of reaping the rewards of the work that they laid out, the foundation that they built. And that's the thing, is that with network marketing, it's not a get rich quick thing. Although a lot of people are sold that idea that this is a get rich quick. I mean, it's quicker than going to a job and making $1 million. I mean, think about it. You've been at your job now for 20 years. How much money do you have in the bank? Right? Good question. A lot of people don't have a lot of money put away because they get paid just enough that they can't afford to leave their job, the kind of the golden handcuffs, and but not enough to really get ahead in the world. Job, just over broke. And a lot of people, especially in today's world, they're not making it to the end of the month. Their paycheck just doesn't last that long. So they have to get extra work. But with network marketing, it's not to get rich quick, but it's quicker than if you at your job, because if you went out and let's say you did like I did, like I was saying, and you and your group went out and you found, let's say you even found one new person a month in your group, right? And your group was built up of, you're the leader and you got three of your team, right? So it doesn't matter which one of the people brings the new person in, it's going to be part of your team. Key, right? Key. You have to understand that. So it's kind of like delegation. So everybody's bringing a new guest to a meeting, and how fast can you build? And let's say that you get one per month. Well, if you're all buying the average a PV in Sizzle, which is about 180 PV, 200, somewhere right in there. But let's just say it's 200, just for ease of math on my old head in the morning, my old brain in the morning, to put these numbers together, right? And on average, you make, let's just say you make the 7% commission, right? So you're going to make $14. Woo-hoo, right? Big deal. So a lot of people say, well, I can go to work and work 1 hour and make $14. And you want me to go to 4 meetings per month and spend, between prep time, drive time, get there time, leave time, follow up time, and all that, 4 times a month, and that's a couple hours. So that's 8 to 10 hours a month, and you're going to give me $15, 14, $15. Yeah, no, I'm not in, right? A lot of people think that way. Well, if you want that kind of money, yeah, don't join me, get a job, right? Just go get a job, because you're going to make more money. You're going to be more happy with that kind of money. But don't say this didn't work, because this works. The whole idea is that, okay, so if your group grows by 1 per month, have you ever done the math on it, right? I mean, it's interesting. Here, I'll just take this little piece of paper here, and 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, 32 becomes 64, 128, 256, 512, 1028, 2000, and what is that? 56. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in 12 months, can you read that? You've got over 2,000 people in your organization, and that was because you did exactly what I said. Each month, you grew by one, and they grew by one, and so you started out. Think about that. So now, if you're making $14 per order, and you've got 2,000 people in your organization, what's 2,000 times 14? Well, that's over $20,000 a month, right? And people say, well, but you're not making, $20,000 a month. They say it to me, and they say, you've been doing network marketing now for, 15 years. Why is that? Well, the thing is that because we don't live in an ideal world. We don't live in an ideal world. And so everything doesn't fall into place exactly the way that you drew it out. But what if it did? I'm just saying, what if it did? What if what you did on a daily basis actually went exactly the plan? And it does for some people. I mean, that's why they have these stories, because it did work for some people. But what happens to most people is that they go out, they're all gung ho. Monday rolls around, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna kill it. And Friday rolls around, and they're like, yeah, I'll wait till Monday. I'm taking the weekend off. And they do that all the time. Now, believe me, I'm going to a car show, but I'm working. I'm prospecting. I'm looking for new people. I'm going to be working with one of my team members who's a real good advocate. He's not a business builder, but he's an advocate of the products. Talks about them to everybody. And between his prospecting and my prospecting, I'll end up with a new client over the weekend at a car show, right? So I can turn what I'm doing into that. People are going to ask, well, how can you afford to take a week off, a couple days off to go to a car show? Well, because I work from home, I can work from here, I can work from there, I can work from anywhere. Right? Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Anyhow, cat in a hat, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, right? Yeah, I mean, all those stories. Anyhow, but what if it did work out? What if, what if it took you 10 years to build this, and the company was paying you over $20,000 a month? Almost $30,000 a month. What if it took you that long? And that's kind of what goes through my head. I'm not making that kind of money, not yet. But I have faith that I will. I just got to find a few more people that are wearing red shirts and are understanding what I'm having to say. And I try and look for the people that want to wear the red shirts, that want to go out and make this thing work. And then what I do is I put them into the game, and I work with them. And sometimes they fall out, sometimes they don't, and sometimes I feel like maybe I give up on people quicker than I should. But I'm not in the business of motivating people as much as I am at lighting the fire and keeping the fire burning and that. So I'm not. Excuse me, my dogs again. I'm not. I don't want to have to find a bunch of people that I have to motivate all the time. I'm looking for motivated people that might need a little bit of instruction, like a little bit of coaching and whatnot, right? And some of you might want to take and coach them from day one. Hey, knock it off. And you might want to work with those people. I tend to choose working with the people who I find are already motivated and want to work. But again, numbers. It's a numbers game. I'm telling you, if it takes me 10 years to make $20,000 to $30,000 a month, that's my dream, baby. That's my dream, and I'm on my way there. My income keeps going up year after year, and yours could too. And the thing about it is that if I had a job with the freedom that I have, if I had a job and I went to work for 10 years, is there any possibility at all that you're going to be paying me $30,000 a month at the end of 10 years if I just keep doing what I'm doing? You know, the answer to that is no, right? But think about it. If we did the power of one that we talked about here, and in 10 years, you had, just looking at these numbers, right? 1,028. That would be the 10-year mark. You'd be making $14,000 a month. That's bringing in one new person a year. Are you hearing me? And so you can build this. Anybody can build it. When somebody says, "Oh, I can't do that," it's well, no, not with that attitude. You can't. But let me show you something. What if you do that in 5 years? What if you only do half of that? I'm telling you, folks, the numbers are there. I've seen it work. I've got friends who make over $1 million a month doing what we're doing. So I know it works. And it's not like they're extraordinarily the brightest, sharpest people on the planet. They were just consistently consistent. They just kept plugging away and plugging away and plugging away. And they eventually got to the top. You and I can do that. I know we can do it. But the problem with it is that we all tend to give up. Oh, it's not working to me. Oh, it works for Kurt. He's a good salesman. Oh, he's a doctor. Oh, he likes to do those videos. He's got the time. Blah, 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 right? Excuses, excuses, excuses. But really, in reality, we can all do it. It's just picking up the pen, the paper, the headphones, doing these little things, and just get involved every day. I think that's the biggest thing that I can tell you for building your business. Engage in the business every day on a daily basis. Don't skip any day at all. Even if you're sicker than a dog, engage in the business every day, doing something. It might be picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, Bob, how's your day? Have you helped anybody repair any fences today?" I was just wondering if I could show you something where there's a possibility that in 10 years you could be making, $10,000 a month. Would you have an interest in taking a look? You don't have to put a lot of time into it, maybe a half hour a day. And I'm being honest. And I'll help you build your business. I won't build your business. You can key. I'll help you build your business. And we can make this thing work together. We can make it work. And I'm looking for, really honestly, I'm looking for 100 people that this makes sense to. I'm looking for 100. And what if I did find 100 people that this really made sense to? I've enrolled over 500 people into Sizzle, but what if 100 of them really got it and they really went to town? And let's just say that they were slow builders and they were, right? What's 100 people doing this? Right? You're starting to see the numbers, and you can build this now. Oh yeah, last year was a tough year. This has been a tough year so far as network marketing. Money is tight. People are a little bit tighter with their money right now. In some cases they're not. I'm watching money just as people throw it out there and buy lots of stuff that they probably don't need. But okay, that's up to them. It's their money. But maybe at the same time, I say, "Hey, how'd you like to enjoy that RV more? How'd you like to enjoy that camper, that motorcycle, that Harley, that hot rod, and for a longer period of time, staying healthy?" My dad is 83, and I tell my dad's story. My dad, started having cancer when he was in his 50s, 30 years ago. And so he was about my age, and he started having cancer. And he's had 4 different types of cancer, and he's beat them all. Mayo Clinic now says that his cancer is still totally under control. Think about that, right? My dad he's still building the hot rod. He's still into cars. He's still going to car shows. Not as often as he did, say, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but he still goes to the car shows. He still gets around pretty dang good. I mean, he was helping my brother put his dock in at the lake, and he slipped and fell and busted 2 ribs, and he's back up gardening, 2 weeks later. I mean, you tell me, at 83 years old, is that normal? No. And so, people who make it to that age, to their 80s, they're doing something different. How'd you like to find out more about what I'm talking about? See, so I'll bring this story into it, right? And you've got stories. You've got your own story. You've got other stories. You can share my dad's story. You can share my story. Weight loss. I mean, holy cow! Drinking Sizzle Sport and taking Sizzle Thin on a daily basis, and and I don't do a lot of exercise. I mean, people say, "Oh, you're doing exercise." No, I'm doing the same exercise that I've been doing for about 5 years. I go for a 3-mile walk, except on the days when it's snowing or raining or windy and heck or cold. I just eliminated half the days in North Dakota, but so every other day I go for a 3 to 5 mile walk. That's my exercise. I work on my cars. I do that. I go for the walk. That's it. You know. So if you're somebody who likes to go to the gym and you're a gym rat, you like to work out, hey, this is going to work even that much better. But I've lost 45 pounds. By the end of next week, I know that I'll be down close to 50 pounds by the end of next week. Yeah, maybe not, going to the car show. Okay, so maybe it'll be 2 weeks from now, right? Because as you get to the point to where you've lost a lot of weight, what tends to happen is your body hits these plateaus. It wants to go into what they call homeostasis. It wants to balance things out. It wants to have a balance. And so losing weight isn't a balance. That's going this way. So your body tends to hit these plateaus and it stays there. That's all right. We know that. And people call me up all the time. They go, "Oh, I lost that first 20 pounds so easy, and now what? It's not coming off." Well, but chances are when you lost the first 20 without really having to do anything, you didn't change your habits. You started eating food that you shouldn't be eating. You started drinking a glass of wine every night before you went to bed. You start doing these different things where you sabotage your own diet because you were still losing weight in the beginning, even if you did things wrong. And so you consistently start doing things wrong. So now I have to dig in and I have to tell people, okay, so let's use Carb Manager app. I like Carb Manager app because you can actually email me your results, and I'm familiar with it. But so Carb Manager, download it onto your smartphone, and you can keep track. And we can see how many fats, how many carbohydrates, how many proteins you have, and it's set up more or less for us that are doing kind of a keto balanced diet. I'm not going to say that I do a keto diet because I don't, but I have more of a keto than I do a carb diet, and so I'm getting that balance, everything that I need to have, and yeah, I'll be down 50 pounds pretty quick here. My goal is to be down a total, of 70. And I started in December. So you can see, folks, I mean, it's working. 8 to 10 pounds per month, which is good weight loss. Now, when we get down to the last 10, maybe 20 pounds, it's going to come off more slowly. When you get down to your last 10 or 20 pounds, it's going to come off more slowly. And so, folks, if you're only trying to lose 20, it's going to take you longer to lose that 20 than it took me to lose my first 20. It's just the way it is because you can't diet as much. You don't have as much to lose, right? So, but I tell people my story on weight loss, and I tell them that, hey, how'd you like to see how this works? And I signed up over 15 new people between February and March, mostly in February, after I lost my first 30 because people didn't want to know, what are you doing? And I'll give that a try. Well, if you're going to give it a try, give it a try for 3 months and follow through and email me and let me know if you have any problems and things like that, right? Because I want to know, how are they doing? If they have a problem somewhere along the line, I want to catch it sooner than later. I want to know on the first couple weeks, are you having a problem? Because now I can help you so that you don't get stuck in a rut and you don't get disappointed and you start losing your faith in what you're doing. And that's what you have to do. But of those, 15 people, how many people are actually following through with it? Yeah, couple, out of 15, 5, 10 of them, man, whatever happened, I don't know. Won't return emails, won't return phone calls, won't return text messages. It's not like I'm not trying, but I'm not going to chase you, because I found that if I chase somebody, it's kind of like that scenario I said. I'm not going to chase them out of the field because I might get another shot at it, right? I might get another shot, and so that's what I meant by that. Anyhow, so look for people that are wearing those red shirts, and get good at asking the right questions. Take off your jacket. I want to see what color shirt you're wearing, right? I mean, and seriously, I've said that to people. Take off your jacket. I want to see what color shirt you're wearing, and they're like, well, what are you doing? Well, here's what. I found that people that wear red shirts, they really enjoy my business. People that wear green shirts really don't like the business that I'm doing. And so I just want to see what color shirt you're wearing. If you're wearing a red shirt, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. If you're wearing a different colored shirt, I'm not going to tell you about it. And they look at you like, what do you mean? And so now it doesn't matter what color shirt they're wearing, right? They're going to listen to you because of the way that you open the conversation. They're going to listen. But I'm going to tell you a little secret of what you can do is you can say, well, Bob, you're not wearing a red shirt. So I can't really tell you everything, but I'm going to just kind of give you a little bit of hints here and there. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. And then, but don't try and close them. You've heard the saying, always be closing, ABC. Don't do that. If they're not wearing a red shirt, don't do that. Right. And tell them, hey, but I'm not gonna, I'm not, I'm not, take away that fear that they have that you're gonna try and sell them something. I'm not gonna try and sell you something. I'm not gonna try and sign you up. I'm not gonna try and really get you in your business because you're not wearing a red shirt. Here's what's gonna happen. The next time you run into Bob, guess what color shirt he's gonna be wearing? And are you gonna have to say anything? Bob's gonna say to you, hey Kurt, I'm wearing a red shirt today. There's your one a month. Build your business. That's all it takes. Have some fun. Have some fun. Test my red shirt theory. What do you got to lose? What if it doesn't work? You're going to have some fun? You're going to meet some new people? Is someone going to sign up? If you did that every day and you look for a red shirted person every day, I'll put money on it that you'll be signing up one new person a month. And you teach them to do the same thing. And they sign up one new person a month. 2056, baby. That's it. That's it. Have some fun. Don't get all twisted and tied up and bent out of shape. You notice I didn't even talk about products. It's a tough year for products for vendors that are selling products like Sizzle. You know why? Sometimes we can't get the bottle cap. Sometimes we can't get the bottle. Sometimes we can't get the seal to go on the bottle. Sometimes we can't get the capsules to make the product out of. Sometimes we can't get some of the extracts. Sizzle doesn't skimp on the extract that they use. I mean, even in times when the products are missing, we're not going to substitute inferior ingredients into our products. So sometimes our products go on back order. Well, if you've built your business on product, strictly on product, and you're like, oh, I just do weight loss, guess what? When Sizzle Thin is on back order, your business goes backwards. If you built your business on the age pill, and we're on the age pill, it goes backwards. See, build your business on the business, because what if all we had today, out of 30 some products that we had, only one was available? I mean, let's just say that it happened. Oh, we can't make anything. All we got is Fucoid. You know what? I'm still going to have my 300 PV in volume. I'm going to order 6 bottles of Fucoid. Why? Because I know that if I don't keep my volume up, I'm going to lose my loyalty rewards points. I'm going to lose my, my status. It's going to go back, and that's not good. I don't want that to happen. I'm building a business. I'm not building a product sales business. The products support our business, but I'm not building. So if all we had was Fucoid and I can get unlimited quantities of Fucoid, I'm going to buy 6 bottles. That's 300 PV right there. Okay? I'm going to build my business. I'm going to teach you to do the exact same thing. It doesn't matter what the products are. Build your business, right? Because the other products will be coming back online soon, sometimes later than sooner, right? Not sooner than later, sometimes later than sooner. And you got to do what you got to do, right? That's all I'm saying, is that we can build this business. We can. You just gotta go out there and you gotta say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen. And then when people come along and they join your business, then you tell them, you say, I'll do whatever it takes to make this work. I'll do whatever it takes. If it means that I've got to be on a phone call with you on Sunday morning, call me. I'll be there. I used to do conference calls at 4:00 in the morning. I would stay up late, and I still stay up late. I get up, not really early, but I get to work right now, 8:00 in the morning. I'm making this recording. So anyhow, folks, we can do this. You can do this. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. It's just it's the idea that you're going to stick it out. It's the idea that you're going to engage in the business every single day. It's the idea that it might take 10 years to do this. So if it takes 10 years, that means for the first year or two, you might only be breaking even. You might only be breaking even. Folks, thousands of people merely break even in the network marketing industry. In fact, if you take a look, I think it's like 3% actually make money. 3%. So 97% of people are sticking it out to stick it out because they're there. Or maybe they love the products or whatever. But what I'm saying is that I tend to find that a lot of times product takers, what they tend to do is the next shiny object comes around. The next shiny Corvette comes and it's like, oh, I'm going to sell this one. I'm going to buy that one. That's the same thing in our industry, So, folks, build your business on consistency. Build your business on the idea that you're going to get here, and so are the people that you bring on board, and the product takers. Hey, we've got the best products in the world, but sometimes those products might be out of stock. So what I would suggest that you do is you buy a couple extra months worth of stock, keep them in your pantry, rotate out of there, consistently buy every month, but have some backup products just in case the product goes out of stock, or what if you run into somebody else that needs the exact same products that you have, and you can say, hey, I can get them to you today. I do that too. I do that a lot. So I tend to have a lot of products on stock, and that way when Sizzle runs out, when they're back ordered on something, really over the last year, it didn't affect me very many months where I was out of any product, because I always kind of kept a back order. Not, I don't hoard it, but I have enough for me, right? For personal consumption stored away. So, folks, I hope that that's helped. I hope that I've given you a little bit of direction. Try the red shirt type of idea and just really think about what I said. You're going to your job. You've been doing it for 10 years. Did you have any chance in the world to be making $15,000 to $20,000 a month? Chances are no, right? But with this, you do have that chance. You just got to stick with it long enough to make it work. And people say, well, yeah, but I've talked to hundreds of people and nobody joined me. Well, maybe you have to change what you're saying. Maybe you're doing it wrong. Maybe you're chasing the birds out of the corn. Maybe you're talking to the wrong people. It might be that you're doing everything perfectly. You're talking, you're saying the right things, but you have the wrong audience. If you're way over here and your credibility is over here with the people that you're talking to, you're not going to get them over here. So you have to look at those things. Maybe you need a new audience. There's a lot of things that you can do. A lot of things. Thanks for visiting, staying with us. I'm here to help. Whatever you need. All right. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye.